Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brave 94 in beautiful Geneva, Switzerland. It's been so incredible, our journey together, you guys. This has been insane. 17th European country, wow. 36th nation that we're visiting. Switzerland has been incredible. The people here are off the hook friendly and supportive and changing the game of MMA. They are really turning it around as well. For me, we've had so many great memories. My best memory of Brave was traveling all over but Morocco. Brave 14,
oh, wow.
Otman Azatar.
Yeah.
In Morocco, ladies and gentlemen, you could not even hear the speaker as I was speaking. You couldn't make your way to the car after the show. It was that loud, it was that much of a frenzy, and it just shows what Brave Combat Federation is all about to me. Phil, your best experience with Brave, something that sticks out to you.
For me personally, I'm from a really small coastal town in the north of Ireland. So Brave Combat Federation came to Belfast in 2018. I believe it was Brave 13.
That's where we met.
That's where we met, and it was a formative experience for me. I just retired from professional fighting. I was dabbling kind of into commentary, into broadcasting, and then I got to come on board as part of the broadcast team for Brave Combat Federation 16 in Abu Dhabi. And from Brave 16 to where we are now at 94 in Geneva, Switzerland, one of the things that is a constant that runs current through what we do is that mixed martial arts is an international language, and it's something I love. It's something that is at the very core of me. Wherever you go, there is that deep ingrained ethos of martial arts, and that is, I may not speak we go to India, we go to Pakistan, I don't speak the language there. We're here in Switzerland, I don't speak French, but as soon as you put your dukes up, as soon as you shadow box a little bit, you'll see someone else do it back to you. And you know, that's my guy. And that tells you that mixed martial arts is a universal language. And none so is that more apparent than what Brave Combat Federation is doing by visiting our 36 different nation in just a few short years. So to be a part of that, and I know I'm rambling, guys, but it's because I love this sport. But to be a part of that in the very small role that I play is just, it's just wonderful, man. It makes me emotional.
Kirik, your thoughts? I mean, we've had so many incredible moments. We've had Conor McGregor supporting Brave. We've had Khabib Nurmagomedov supporting Brave. I mean, all these ultra superstars here.
Future champions.
That is made, yes, future champions as well. What is your take on your most memorable Brave experience?
Los, I've thought about that any number of times now, and I have a sort of a list, but there's one country that for me is in a class by itself, and that is Brazil.
Hey,
the level of understanding, absolutely, the level of understanding the fight game is unparalleled there. I was at a desk once calling the fights. Vanderlei Silva was right behind me within reaching distance. It was a Brazilian fighter versus an international fighter. They were doing their characteristic welcome chant, vai morrer, vai morrer, you will die. And they were doing it so loud. We had a metal table. We were doing it so loud that my cell phone started wiggling across the table. And if I had to have one single moment that summed up it's over a half decade of the Brave now, it would be that one moment. Wow. Vanderlei Silva right there, and the crowd screaming, you will die, so loudly, my phone started walking away from me.
But guys, how crazy is it? You have two Americans. You have a guy from just outside Boston. You have a guy from the state of California. You have an Irish guy, and we're right here now in Geneva, in Switzerland. And we three are kind of the conduits that are bringing Brave Combat Federation to a new nation. What does that mean for you, and what kind of responsibility do you feel, and what kind of ownership do you take over that?
It's the biggest responsibility and the greatest feeling in the world for me, and I know Kirik and yourself will minister to that. It's incredible to represent our nation, like my nation's the United States of America, and to be a representative and to show the world what we're really about. There's a lot of mixed perceptions of what Americans are about and how they feel and the stereotypes, but I want to take all of those and just knock it out of the park. I want to show how caring we are, how loving we are, how real we are, and how we want to take the game of mixed martial arts to the next level. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about our fighters. It's all about our fans. It's not about us. And that is due to Sheikh Khalid bin Ahmad Al Khalifa, our guiding light, our vision, and our support.
All right, guys. This talked about the past, but if you looking ahead.
For me personally, I would love to go back to Ireland, as I believe Ireland is a little bit of the spiritual home of mixed martial arts in its current guise. So for me personally, as an Irishman, I would love to go back to Belfast. It would be almost a full circle moment for me to call a show back in the SSE or a prestigious venue like the Ulster Hall or the Waterfront Hall back in Belfast. But also, you can't mention MMA in a global sphere without touching on the States.
Very well put. That's my bucket list of places. Next for Brave is USA. That's right, America. Coming here to America, it would be absolutely incredible. You talk about Brave Combat Federation, Kirik, taking over the world of mixed martial arts. The final straw, the final little caveat on that cake will be the United States of America.
I want to go a little bit further afield. I grew up in part in Nigeria. Nigerian Americans are the most educated single group in the United States of America, more than Asian Americans, more than Caucasian Americans. It's Nigerian Americans. The country struggles to some extent, but man, Nigerians are some of the finest people on the planet. Best in business, smartest, best athletes. So for me, it would be Nigeria. I would love to see Brave Nigeria, West Africa.
One of the biggest Guinness distributors in the world. So yes, I'd be happy to go there, get a pint with you in Nigeria and watch some fights.
The TV ads for Guinness in Nigeria go, Guinness will give you power, happiness, and satisfaction.
Very well said, Kirik. You know, it's been an incredible ride. We're at Brave 94 right now. We're headed to the historic milestone. Everybody's talking about it. Brave 100 is going to be in the books and probably the most memorable MMA event production show that you've ever seen. We can't wait for that right now. It's looming right in the background, and it's coming, boys. Odie Delaney, an NCAA Division I All-American wrestler, heavyweight, big boy, going against Pavel the Experiment Dalitko. I mean, our current reigning, defending heavyweight champion. This, for me, is going to be the fight of the night, and this, for me, is the fight that so many people want to see. We all love great heavyweight action, and Pavel Dalitko has been just an incredible athlete and representative of that heavyweight crown.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, Pavel Dalitko is unquestionably the most dangerous man in Brave Combat Federation. 9 professional wins, has never been to the judges, has never been out of the second round. The same can be said of Odie Delaney, but let's talk about Delaney a little bit. Undefeated as a professional, 5-0, 5 finishes, but when you dig into that amateur wrestling background, NCAA Division I All-American, a 4-time Southern Conference champion, a Hall of Famer, the Citadel Military College. Now, Kirik, explain to the people watching just the kind of gravitas that holds, to have those kind of accolades, to essentially be a black belt in collegiate wrestling.
Yeah, he's above a black belt. There are various kinds of wrestling in the world. The 2 biggest internationally are freestyle and Greco. Freestyle, you can go after the legs. Greco, you have to stay for the upper body. There's a lot of argument about which one is better, but it's pretty well established. I'm going to set aside Dagestani wrestling, but it's pretty well established that outside of Dagestani wrestling, folk style wrestling, because of some little rules tweaks, in the indigenous form of wrestling in the US, if you escape, you get 1 point. So instead of, when you get taken down, instead of just laying down flat, you scramble. And what's mixed martial arts? If the 2 fights are put together, there's an awful lot of scrambles. So I think Odie Delaney is a literal and figurative giant in the single best form of wrestling on the planet for mixed martial arts, except for Pakistani wrestling.
Now, gentlemen, one question I want to ask you: do you have an under-the-radar pick? Necessarily, it could be a fight or it could be a fighter. For me, if I'm going to go first, because I have this plan, so I don't want you to steal my answer, Yusuf Magomedov. I think this guy is next level. 6-1 as a professional. His only loss as a pro came when he was 4-0 against Lee Chadwick, who was a 50-fight veteran at the time. Not only that, but it was the culmination of a one-fight night tournament. Both these guys had fought twice. He took Chadwick to the decision. I believe he won that fight. So I believe this is perhaps a moment where we're going to say, like we did with Khamzat Chimaev, where we're going to say, I was there, I called that fight, I know how good this guy is. But for you guys, give me a fight to watch, give me a fighter to watch. What are you excited about?
Kirik, your thoughts on that?
For me, this is gonna maybe come out of left field for you guys, but it's Ahmed Laban. Ahmed the Shadow Laban uses a very distinct kind of footwork that was developed in the Soviet Union in the 1920s, 1930s, that involves constant bouncing. It's almost the complete opposite to what you see in kickboxing, to what you see in mixed martial arts, where people typically face the hips about 45 degrees and they walk forward.
It's kind of the antithesis of what you would tell someone to do on paper.
Yes.
It looks like it shouldn't work at all. He's largely bladed. He bounces the whole time. The bouncing looks like somebody just bouncing. It is extremely technical. The knees are in a little bit. You touch your heels each time so you don't get tired. I love his style of fighting, and I love to see him adapt it to different opponents. So that is absolutely, positively my under-the-radar fight that I'm looking forward to. Ahmed Laban.
But in Kevin Ruart, he is facing an incredibly dangerous fighter.
Great challenge.
Yeah, 100%. He would be more the more fundamentally astute fighter, I would say, more technically astute with that fundamental boxing style. So you have that pervasive power of Kevin Ruart taking on that elusive, shadow-like movement of Ahmed Laban. For you, Carlos, what are you looking forward to?
That's my pick of the night as a sleeper of the night, the fight that you should really pay attention to. I mean, Laban is incredible. It's like fighting a current time Bruce Lee. So many different angles, so many different ways that he can attack and take you out. And I tell you what, going against Ruart, it's going to be a battle. I mean, Ruart has a solid ground game. He's solid everywhere. This is going to be a great clash. And you know what, for Laban, the more chaotic, the more hectic, the more unorthodox the fight is, the better for him. This guy thrives in situations that are ultimately chaos, but he makes it look easy and he makes it look smooth. The only way he does that is from years and years of mixed martial arts experience. So that, to me, is going to be the sleeper fight of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so anticipating this next matchup, this next event in beautiful Geneva, Switzerland. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. We've got to thank the Hawk, Mohammed Shahid, Brave Combat Federation president, for always leading the way and always carrying through His Highness's vision day in and day out, making Brave Combat Federation the most global MMA organization in the world. From Geneva, Switzerland, it's myself, the Roaring Lion, Irish Thunder Phil Campbell, and the OG of MMA, Kirik Jenness, saying we'll see you at the fights.